Center for K-12 Black History and Racial Literacy Education is a professional development as well as a research center dedicated to improving how teachers teach about Black history and race in the classroom. So the problem has never been Black history per se, it is what kind of Black history is being taught in our schools, right? So if it's a Black history that focuses on Black heroes or Black people who have adopted some of the principles that we deemed American, right, then that type of Black history is okay, right? But if it's a Black history that critiques the US system or world systems, or if it talks about aspects of oppression, racism, anti-Blackness, sometimes those particular aspects of Black history are pushed aside in favor of the more heroic and progressive Black history.
When we first started doing the conference, it was always in a local high school. As it came here to UB, we did our first year here at UB in a local high school, but the last 2 years have been on campus. It has, every year we keep expanding and keep growing. We bring new people come in, a lot of same people kind of keep on going, coming back to it. In a lot of ways, just become a big family.
What has made it unique to me since I've been participating, probably since 2019, is that it's a convergence of like history educators and actual classroom teachers from K through 12. There's some different conversations that take place because we're talking about actual pedagogy and like practice and instruction that happens like maybe in an elementary school classroom with kindergartners, or middle school classroom with 6th graders, and high school classrooms. And there's a lot of networking. People are sharing resources, people are sharing ideas, from their presentations, and a lot of the presentations are pretty unique. I've learned a lot, in the multiple years that I've attended this conference, and also even being able to present, and also the feedback that I've received and the questions that the audience members have asked me.
Bringing together educators across the country who care about these issues, not across the country, across the world, and giving them the space and the opportunity to really reflect and also share with others. And that, number one, has been very helpful for me as a director of social studies education in Philadelphia, by being able to offer this opportunity to educators there, but also the 8 Black historical consciousness principles. It shifts the way people even think about how they're planning, and like LaGarrett says, to teach Black history, not simply the subject, but through the Black lens.
So currently in elementary classrooms across the country, teachers are teaching Black history, mostly during Black History Month, oftentimes in social studies, but there are also many states who are banning the teaching of Black history and hard topics, specifically certain Black history texts or picture books in the classroom.
It's one of the really easiest ways, I think, for teachers, for students to access Black history is through literature and through stories, especially stories that are designed for children, because a lot of times the information, it's so vast and there's so much that hasn't been traditionally included in the curriculum, and that's nationwide. And so having the opportunity now that we can use and that teachers can use to learn about the history and to actually have them, represented in ways that students, children can see themselves, it's like a win-win.
Over the years, the center has really cultivated this phenomenal Teach Black History Conference. That's how I was recruited to become a doctoral student and then a graduate fellow. It really encouraged me to incorporate Black history throughout every curriculum that I was using as a classroom teacher, and then also from everyone that's been impacted by the center. They've done amazing things like write books, and our director is internationally known for the center and all the amazing work he's done in Black history.
For me, I see the center in helping educate society, educate teachers to notice that, hey, history that is contentious is a proper history, one that helps us understanding that our histories are not the same, and that if we have an honest conversation about history, that things may get better. So if we have a solid history, right, one that explores everyone's perspectives, then as a society we can improve, because we can always say, what happened in history in this particular aspect? What can we predict, right? How can we improve on our outcomes based on the history that we learn?